Hello and welcome everybody to our February Hub 101. Just wanted to reintroduce myself. Hello everyone, my name is Janelle. I'm the Hub Coordinator here with Austin Coming Together. This month for our Hub 101, we are being joined by Manufacturing Renaissance. So again, thank you all for joining us today. So excited to have you here. As some of you may be familiar with ACT already, ACT is a backbone agency for collective impact, serving a network of nonprofit, faith-based, public, and private member organizations. As part of ACT, the Austin Community Hub is a safe space to intentionally and thoughtfully engage disconnected families and individuals in collaboration with our member base to securely connect them with resources they may need to help them with holistic services. My apologies. Services such as career counseling, housing, continuing education, legal assistance, and much more. Part of these services include informing our community members about the different organizations and what's going on. So we created Hub 101s to help out with that. Today we'll be building partnerships and creating futures with Manufacturing Renaissance. Manufacturing Renaissance works to advance sustainable development anchored in manufacturing as a primary strategy for reducing poverty, expanding inclusion, and expanding middle-class communities. We're going to start off today with a quick presentation by Manufacturing Renaissance. They were wonderful and took the time to put this together for us. They're going to go over Manufacturing Renaissance's general organization, specifically about their upcoming Young Manufacturers Association and how to get involved in that cohort. After the presentation, we will have time for a question and answer portion. Please feel free, whether now or during the presentation, if you have any questions, comments, concerns that pop up, please feel free to toss those into the Facebook Live chat, and we will be sure to address those during the Q&A portion. With that, though, I would love to pass it over to our partners over at Manufacturing Renaissance. The floor is all yours. Just give me one moment to get our PowerPoint pulled up if you all want to introduce yourselves in the meantime.
I'm going to try to get this out. I am dealing with a little laryngitis. I'm Joyce Weston. I'm the program director here at Manufacturing Renaissance for both of our Manufacturing Connect and YMA programs. Leslie.
Hi, everyone. Leslie Long. I'm the assistant program director for the Manufacturing Connect program at Manufacturing Renaissance. Didi?
Good morning. Well, good afternoon. My name is Didi Jones. I am the industry coordinator with the Manufacturing Renaissance program, and I'll get into a little bit more of that after introductions. Erica?
Good afternoon, everybody. Erica Staley, Executive Director of Manufacturing Renaissance, and excited to be here and glad to have my team here to share all the great work that we're doing. I'll turn it back to Didi.
Perfect. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon to learn about our organization and the programs that we currently have available to the community. My name again is Didi Jones. I'm the industry coordinator responsible for going out to manufacturing companies to letting these companies know that we are engaging young people who may or may not know anything about manufacturing, but we are exposing them to what manufacturing is, preparing them for careers in manufacturing, and mentoring them through the entire process of training and getting into the world of work. I'm also responsible for going out to the community and letting the community know, youth, know that we have a training program that's preparing young adults for careers in manufacturing. That training program is ran through the YMA, or the Young Manufacturers Association, where our motto is training plus supports equals success. Next slide. A little bit about our organization. This little picture here of the Caucasian man standing to the left is our founder, Dan Sweeney. And in 1982, he founded Manufacturing Renaissance in response to the loss of 200,000 manufacturing jobs the 4,000 of the 7,000 plant closing in Chicago's West Side, South Side, and Southline communities. At the beginning, the organization's work was focused on industrial retention efforts. Dan led a team that studied hundreds of companies and worked on dozens of campaigns with local unions, community-based organizations, and the city of Chicago under the Harold Washington administration to save industrial jobs. So basically, he formed this organization to figure out what was going on in the manufacturing community. Why were manufacturing companies being closed or work being shipped in other areas, and in the process devastating the West and South Side communities, because with those plant closings went the jobs. So no jobs, and then you know, our areas, the West and South Side, as well as the Southland communities, became a little depressed because of this, due to lack of work. Next slide. So he formed this organization as a response to that. And from forming this organization came the Chicagoland Manufacturing Renaissance Council, or CMRC. This is a broad-based policy council filled with stakeholders across industries such as education, government, and community. The goal is to drive thought leadership and policy, specifically around the development of manufacturing through inclusion and Industry 4.0. Co-publish major studies, and we host a major conferences and events. So basically, this group gets together on a quarterly basis to discuss new initiatives, policy changes. How can we get manufacturing to the forefront of the people that make decisions, so that this is an important part of our community and our lives? We also have the Manufacturing Connect program and the Young Manufacturers Association. The Manufacturing Connect program is our high school program, which started in 2007. And we started it to expose, inspire, prepare, and support youth ages 14 to 18 in school youth. And what we would do is we had an in-school training program where we taught high schoolers and exposed them to what manufacturing is. We took them on field trips. They did job shadows, one-day job shadows, where they go out to the companies and hang out with that company to figure out different careers available within the manufacturing sector. We also sent them on a spring break internship where they would spend a week on site at a manufacturer, and they would physically work so that they understood what it takes and the expectations that manufacturers was looking for in order for a person who wanted a manufacturing career to be successful. And we placed them into summer internships. So those who are going off to college, we will put them in a summer job so that they can have a relationship with this manufacturer and work throughout the summer, gain knowledge, as well as gain and build relationships, so that spring break, Christmas break, summer break throughout their college life, they can come back and work for that manufacturer. And upon graduation, have an option to work for that manufacturer on a permanent full-time basis. If you are not going off into college, then we will place you into a permanent full-time job. Our training is entry-level training that gets you prepared for entry-level to mid-level career opportunities within the manufacturing sector. For our Young Manufacturers Association, it's almost the same thing, but we're dealing with out of school youth, ages 18 to 29 years old. We want to expose them to STEM manufacturers opportunities, which occurs throughout training. Our training consists of 10 weeks, 10 weeks for the Young Manufacturers Association. The training is shop math. So you learn about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions, and decimals. You learn how to read blueprint reading. Manufacturing is the process of making things. Everything we see, touch, taste, consume, all has to be made somewhere. So we want to give you the basic skill set necessary in order for you to gain a manufacturing career. Reading blueprints, everything starts off as on a piece of paper. It has your work instructions, the material you need, and the process that you're going to perform through a blueprint. So we teach you how to use those and read those. We teach you safety, how to conduct yourself within the manufacturing environment. Hand and power tools, how to correctly hold and use hand and power tools, as well as measuring devices. There's a whole suite of measuring devices that manufacturers use that we have to train you so that you're successfully able to use those same measuring devices once what you produce is made. And the best part of our training is you gain a credential that is recognized nationally. That is through NIMS, the National Institute of Metalworking Skills, and we give you a measurement, material, and safety credential. This credential tells manufacturers that you went through a training process, you learned some principles, you tested on those principles, so you retain that information successfully. So you received a credential in doing that. Once they get knowledge that you have that credential, it's much easier for you to gain employment. It's just like a doctor getting a degree, you know, it tells the hospital that they're able to perform certain tasks. So that's the same as what we offer. And this credential can be used here in the US and can be used in, you know, national. It's a nationally recognized credential. So if you want to work in Poland, Germany, or Texas, you can use this credential. And we also provide work experiences or field trips for our Young Manufacturers Association group. We have another arm of our organization is the Economic and Development Consulting Services, which Manufacturing Renaissance works with states to build a society that is sustainable and restorative. We collaborate to provide customizable consulting services for training models, technical assistance, and activities that complement our programs and strategic partners and employers. So not only are we engaging young folks and teaching them the world of manufacturing, we're also teaching manufacturing companies how to engage the youth. It's a new way of thinking. They're technology driven. They think with their heart. So it's about educating employers on how to attract and retain the youth, as well as other things that's going on within their organizations that they may need help and not experienced in doing it. We act as a resource for consulting them or finding consultants who are skilled in areas of where they need help to get them screen. Next screen. All righty. Okay, so
On that one, I didn't hear you.
That's okay. What is YMA? Stuff. YMA is the Young Manufacturers Association. And why did we put this Young Manufacturers Association together? To introduce adults to manufacturing opportunities and support their careers as it starts and advances. So going through our training program and inhaling the information, taking the NIMS exams and earning your credential is probably the easy part. The hardest part is keeping the job. Once we place you into the job, keeping the job. So we created this Young Manufacturers Association to support young individuals who were working in manufacturing, who were training in manufacturing, or who just had an interest in it. How do I get into it? How do I keep a job? I'm having these difficulties or these challenges. How do I get through that? I would like a career advancement or to go to school. How do I ask my employer? So a lot of questions that young people have who may not have all the answers. And we wanted to support them with getting the right information in a timely fashion in a group setting. So what we do is we serve adults, young adults ages between 18 and 29. We have over 75 members across the West, South Side, and the Southland areas. And our young folks go through that 10-week technical training program that I just spoke about. We have career and job resources as well as peer-to-peer support. So once you go through our 10-week training program, we're going to teach you how to interview, how to dress, expectations of manufacturers, why do they want what they want? What is manufacturers looking for in a young person or a person that's going to work for them? What are your expectations? What are your career goals? How do you navigate throughout the manufacturing environment? What is a typical manufacturing environment? Why is it so demanding? What are the reasons why? How do I interview? How do I get through difficult situations? How do I ask for career advancement? How do I get my company to pay for school? Peer-to-peer support. So our staff members as well as YMA members get together on a quarterly basis or monthly basis. At least once a month, we'll have a meeting and we discuss what's going on in your roles at work, career advancements, what's positive about what's going on in your life. Challenges, are you having a challenge in one area, whether it be home or whether it be on the job? How can we help you as your peers and as people who went through what you're going through, support you so that you're able to move to the next, so that you're able to get out of those challenging or just questionable situations, things you're just not sure of. So we support each other, we mentor each other. There's leadership opportunities. So we go out in the community and we share with other young folks that we're here, that we want you guys to join us, that we want to support you, that we want to educate you and make sure that you're gainfully employed. So professional development and individual coaching. Hey, I want to learn about internships. What does that mean? Or I want to learn about an apprenticeship. What does that mean? So individualized coaching, having one-on-one sessions or meetings with YMA members or young adults who just have questions. That's what we're here to do. And we partner with other organizations such as ACT for things such as childcare, or if you're having problem with domestic violence or maybe a food crisis and you don't know where to turn. We partner with other community organizations where they will be able to help you in those situations. But our goal is to ensure the success on the job for both the employee and the employer, creating a bridge between the industry and the community, and providing inclusion and safety for communities. We want our Black and Brown youth to take advantage of all of the work that's out there, all of the career choices that are available, all of the money that you can make in manufacturing. So we want to introduce you as well as make sure that you're able to keep what you have. So at the top bubble here, left, There's a whole group of YMAers, very successful. All are working in manufacturing right now. At the bottom is a young lady who went to college for teaching, but she worked in manufacturing all the while she was in college. And once she got her degree, she went to be a full-time teacher. We're saying manufacturing can be a career choice, or it can be a vehicle for you to use to get to where you want to go. Next slide. And now we're going to watch a video of a group, a session, a YMA session that we have. Our sessions involve maybe an hour and a half where we get together as a group and we share. We have conversations about life, about work, about community, about leadership activities. The first young man you're going to see, his name is Raul. He actually got right out of jail and he went into our YMA boot camp training program. He successfully completed the training program, and here he is at a meeting sharing about how he went back into his community, and his community was asking him, hey, how did you get a job? You know, you got caught with a gun, you have a felony, but you came right out of prison and got a job. How did you do that? So that's a little part of what you may not understand. His first few words are, how did you get a job? How did you do that? But we can go on and play the video.
And I speak because I was a gang member, and I was part of that violence throughout shot firearm. I got people asking me, "Can I get a job? How did you got a job? You got a background." It's impossible. See, now they having all these questions I can't give them, but what I do, I guide them to the source that helps me.
IMA is a network of young people working in manufacturing. Young people in manufacturing are not only building products for the market, but they are building successful futures and rebuilding their communities. IMA overcomes violence and poverty by building a new community around youth pursuing careers in manufacturing.
I promise you, you will make a career out of it. You won't get boring, or you won't lose interest in it, which is what a lot of problems is. People just get a job because I was told to get a job. Mm-hmm. This type of program and doing what we do in manufacturing, you get a job because you want that job.
IMA helps to get young people on the job and off the streets. IMA facilitates peer support, training, employment, social services, networking, and civic engagement. We are IMA. Help us continue our mission. Thank you.
So that was just a little taste of a YMA meeting that we had. We had quite a few participants in the room, and we were discussing life. I think Laquan McDonald was the hot topic at the time, so the room was full because we needed to help young people understand what was going on in the best way we most possibly can. So we brought folks in to help them figure out, you know, what to do with what they saw and heard and what's going on out in the world. So it's not all about work. It's about how do we stay positive? How do we keep moving? How do we create goals and set them, and accomplish them? Who do we need to align ourselves with to make things happen in our life? How do we get an apartment? How do we get a car? How do we get credit? You know, the biggest thing is, how do I get an apartment? I don't have any credit. I keep getting turned down. So YMA is just a support group of, hey, I've been through that situation and this is how I got through. Or this is what I did. So maybe if you follow these steps, you can successfully get through this situation. Next slide. And manufacturing is not all about men. Women are definitely welcomed into the manufacturing world and community. As a matter of fact, a lot of my employers prefer women. Now that things are not all about a strong back and a strong arms, and you need strong legs to lift, bend, push, pull, and use all this manual equipment that you have to put your own power behind. Today, manufacturing is about having critical thinking skills and understanding how technology moves and how to program equipment to get to do so that equipment does what your body used to do back in the day. Now they have machines that do all that labor intensive work, all of those robots to do all of that moving from one place to the next. And we need thinkers who can talk the language of those computers to get them to do what you need them to do. So manufacturing as a whole has changed, where it's not so much labor intensive. You are definitely using your mind. They're looking for detail, for you to be detail oriented. They're on time every day and productive. Here are some of our employer partners. We have over 200 manufacturing employer partners throughout the South and West sides. On any given year, we work with about 20 or so for our tours, our work experiences, and even employment opportunities. And some of our long-standing partners are here. Freeman Seating, they make bus seats, for the CTA. They're right here in our community on the West Side. Ferrara has quite a few locations in the Chicago and suburban areas, but they make the candy. Water Saver, if you ever went into a biology lab and you saw the air, the gas, the water, those faucets, that's what they make. Damron and TGIN are our two Black-owned companies that are producing. TGIN is hair and skin. Damron makes the tea for McDonald's. Laystrom, Dudek, and Bach and Hudson are all small manufacturers who make metal parts, and they hire quite a few of our participants. Next slide. But these are companies that are embedded on the South and West sides, and we see them every single day. So we are recruiting currently for the next training program that's going to start February the 28th, which is this month, at the end of the month. Well, you'll get involved in a 10-week paid training. You get paid about $100 a week for 10 weeks. And you learn those skills that we discussed: shop math, blueprint reading, hand and power tools, measuring devices, and then your NIMS credentials, which teach you measurement materials and safety. Looks like that training is going to happen Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Mondays at 11. So we're looking for about an hour and 15-minute commitment for those 3 days for the next 10 weeks starting 2/28. And they will be trained in those technical things as well as the soft skills: how to interview, how to keep a job, how to goal set, and some leadership activities. And if you are interested or you know someone who could take advantage of this training, please leave your information in the chat, or our phone number and email address is here on this flyer. You can definitely call or send us a message and we will get back to you. We generally have information sessions about that training every Wednesday at 5 o'clock. I think we'll have one tomorrow and next week, and then we'll be ready to start the training. We have some activities in the CMRC. It's always a good go to our website and check the CMRC tab to see what interesting activities that are coming up or are available, and how you can get involved and join in the CMRC so that you too have a voice on what's going on in the manufacturing community and can rally the troops to make things happen as the purpose of CMRC, to actually make things happen.
Erica is also going to share a little bit more about that, the CMRC.
Erica?
Great. I'll just jump in quickly. So everything that Dee Dee has talked about, just all the the end goal is getting young people great careers in manufacturing. But in order for that to happen, all that work that we've done over the years is only made possible because of all the relationships that we've made with companies, with schools, with local community leaders and educators, teachers unions, all kinds of, of course, funders and local government. There's been a lot of people behind the scenes that really make this program even possible. And so all that work really has been coordinated and facilitated by what we call the Chicagoland Manufacturing Renaissance Council. And this is essentially a lot of other people who may or may not be directly working in manufacturing or in schools who say, hey, even though I don't work in manufacturing personally, my community benefits from having not only manufacturing, but also training programs or education programs in manufacturing. So what we've been doing, what's really required part of this work that we're doing is building this much broader network of really advocates and champions for manufacturing, people who say, hey, my community is better off when these kinds of programs exist in our local schools. My community is better off when more people have good paying jobs. Or so whether we're talking with Congress people, mayors or county officials, anyone, we're trying to convince them to say, hey, you want a program like what Young Manufacturers Association represents. You want programs in local schools that help connect people who bring great, caring adults like Dee Dee and Leslie and Joyce on my team into schools and connecting with youth directly. What we do is just a small drop in the bucket. What we know the need is that there are tens of thousands of these jobs going unfilled today in the Chicagoland area, also nationally. Jobs going unfilled, good paying jobs like that people can't find people for. And we know that there are a lot of people in our communities who really want good paying jobs. So we're just trying to make sure that the powers that be know that this is an issue, and we want to find a lot of different ways of getting support for programs like this. So the Renaissance Council is that way. So we're looking for members, we're growing, whether you're an individual, whether you're a young person in your community who you believe that these types of jobs are good for you and your family and your community, or you're a teacher, or you're a manufacturer, or you are a minister at a local church who says, hey, my community is better off with more programs like this, then we want you to be part of the Renaissance Council. So yes, we have just a short enrollment form on the website. And I'm always happy to talk to anybody about more specifics about what we're doing. But yeah, we want to inform and just raise awareness about this important approach to developing our communities. So I'll just leave it there. Happy to answer questions somewhere else. But I really appreciate everybody joining us today to talk a little bit more about what our work is about, and hope to meet you all soon.
Perfect. I'll just share a few success stories from the picture shown here in the purple and teal. Starting from the left is Raul. Young guy, lives in Humboldt Park. Like I said, fresh out of jail, he was caught with a gun on him. And he signed up for our boot camp program, showed up every day on time, did what he was supposed to do. We placed him at a company not too far from his home, Newlywed Foods. He worked as a shipping and receiving clerk and has been successful ever since. He since have had a child, started a family, was able to get his own place. Not driving as of yet, but successful in his own right. He didn't have to come home and do the right thing. He could have went back to doing what he learned to do, what he was comfortable in doing, but he wanted a change. And now he's a big advocate for going out and getting other people into the boot camp. Let's talk about some of these girls. Shamika, standing in the black. She is a current employee at Ferrara Candy. Her and the young lady standing next to her, Jasmine, They both went through our high school program. Their senior year in high school, they interned at Ferrara Candy, working 3 nights a week and on Saturdays, but learning how to operate very complex equipment. It took them 6 months to learn these jobs. One is a mogul cook. The other one is a packaging machine operator. So one learned how to press buttons to release ingredients into a big mixer at Ferrara and how to test those ingredients and see where things were going wrong and was able to make adjustments. And the other one was learning how to package the trolley candy. You know, all the packaging that the candy is dumped into, that's the machine that Jasmine was able to master and run. And I'll tell you, both these ladies make over $23 an hour. Let me just say, they started at $11 an hour, and today they make $23 an hour, and they are 2018 graduates. So you do the math. 2018 graduates, started off at $11 internship, today is making over $23 and not wanting for anything. Super independent, actually helping their families. Shamika is a new mom, brand new mom, and she just took some time off, but she's planning to go back to work. Right now is a great time to get into manufacturing because of all of the labor shortages. Most of the people in this picture have been promoted 2 or 3 times because there's nobody else doing the job. Not because they're qualified, not because they have the skills and experiences, not because they have the education, but because there's a gap that needs to be filled. And maybe their position isn't where the need is, but the other one is. So I was just talking to Miss Jasmine, who jumped 2 levels because there's gaps. Her boss left, and then her boss's boss left. And when you're working with food, there's auditing processes that people have to be in those roles in order to go through the audit. So just because of an audit process, she was promoted. So now is the best time to get into manufacturing because you guys are getting positions that you never would get, or that would take 3 to 5 years for you to get to that level. And then the pay is very, very good. All of these people on this page make over $20 an hour, hands down. All of them. Terrence in the black is a tool and die maker. In about 2 more years, he will be at 6 figures. And he too has a criminal background. That YMA went to court to help the judge see that he has community support. He is a leader in his community. We got letters of support from his employer, and he was released because of all of the activities he was engaged in YMA. The judge said, I can't in good conscience let you go to jail because you're giving back. So that's what you are getting into. People that care about you, people that want to see you succeed. And this is just not about numbers. Let's place people into jobs so we get more funding. This is let's change people's lives so that they don't have to resort to the things that people really don't want to do. There's plenty of opportunity out there. So let's introduce you to it. Let's take a short-term training program that can potentially change the rest of your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And we've got one final slide.
If you want to stay connected, here's my information. I am Dee Dee Jones. My email, djones@mfgren.org. Our number is 773-278-5418, and I'm at extension 33. And you can always connect with us through our website. If you don't remember anything else, remember mfgren.org. And that'll connect us to every program we have, every training we have, or every staff member. Information is there. Does anyone have any questions?
Thank you so much, Dee Dee. Let me get everything pulled back up. That was a great presentation. Thank you, everyone. It was very informational. Let's see. Okay, So we do have a couple questions for anybody who is currently viewing or anybody who does have any other questions. Again, please feel free to toss those in the chat. We'll be sure to get to them as soon as possible. But to start off, the first question is, how do we sign up and what does that process look like for me?
So you can definitely email me directly, D Jones, and I'll put it in the chat for everyone to see. DJONES@mfgren.org, or you can go to our website, mfgren.org. Right. Yes. So our information is there in the chat, and definitely I'll be reaching out people today and tomorrow for our info session tomorrow evening at 5. So yeah, plenty of time to get involved.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'll also, before the end of this presentation, I'll also pop back up that final slide with your contact information as well for anybody who isn't able to see it in the chat. So I know you said that this is a paid internship experience and it's 10 weeks and about $100 a week. Is there any cost for participants upfront that they need to worry about for like clothing, anything they may need for training? Is there anything they have to pay for?
No.
Only thing
Go ahead.
only thing we ask, there's no cost to anything. The only thing we ask is that the days and times that you have training, that you're in a quiet space where you can concentrate, that you have a decent signal so that you're not going in and out and missing information. But even if you do, we have one-on-one sessions with our shop teacher. If you miss a day or if you don't understand something, that's the beauty about this training program. The shop teacher is very knowledgeable and helpful. So he doesn't want to see anybody fail. He's not going to leave you behind. You can always schedule one-on-one time or support time, tutoring time with the shop teacher to make sure you're moving along with the rest of the crowd, but no cost.
Okay.
And to add to that, it's specifically no cost to residents of Austin. We have money set aside to cover their training and other communities. And so it always starts by reaching out. You always start by reaching out to Dee, and then we'll take it from there.
Okay. Okay. What about any COVID concerns for any potential in-person currently going on? What is that looking like for participants?
So right now, the training is 100% virtual.
Okay.
So right now, you won't have to worry about COVID. Now, what we would have to worry about is when you're ready to go to work. Different employers have different rules, so we will go over that case by case. This employer may want you to be 100% vaccinated. Can you apply here? This employer may say you have to do weekly testing. Are you willing to do that? Because this is the process you're going to have to go through. So every company is different. Every person is different, which is why we have one-on-one sessions. It's never a group session when we're dealing with employment. But the training itself is 100% virtual. You will not have to report to any particular place.
Okay. Okay.
And to add to what Dee said, we are looking for people who are ready to go to work, right? So if this is interesting to you and you feel like you are ready to, we hit the ground running. So once you finish the 10-week training, then you sit for Dee talked about the certification that you get through NIMS, the measurements, the materials measurement and safety certification. So you finish the training, you sit for your certification exam, and then you go right to work because there are thousands of employers that are waiting for you. And so please, if you reach out to us, don't take a seat from somebody who is ready to go, right? So we are looking for people who are ready to go right to work. There is no shortage of jobs. And like Dee was saying, there are plenty of opportunities that wouldn't necessarily be there. And some of the information in the video we showed, that the video is a little bit older. So the starting wage did say 13, but right now, Dee, what are we looking at? Probably like
about
18 per hour to start.
$18 an hour average to start, because you are getting jobs you wouldn't normally get.
Okay. Okay. And do you know, for these positions that people are typically getting placed in, are these full-time, fully benefited type of positions people can expect to get in?
If you're looking for a part-time job, this is not the program to go through. Let me
Okay.
just start off because I get a lot of people after training, I'm discovering they want part-time work. This is not it. Manufacturing is all about full-time.
Okay.
If not only full-time, but be prepared for overtime. So if you're
Okay.
looking to make a lot of money, this is the place to go. This is the training to get involved because there's so much overtime available. So part-time work, this is not it.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely full-time, guaranteed, 100%.
And
Okay.
actually, Didi, can you elaborate about how many of our partners do offer like tuition reimbursement opportunities and that kind of
Sure.
part of the benefits of working in manufacturing?
Sure. So there's a few things where you can benefit as an employee. Tuition reimbursement and apprenticeships. Tuition reimbursement is you working on a job for X amount of time. Every company is different, but usually it's 6 months to a year. And the company will offer you tuition reimbursement. So if you're interested in learning in an area where we offer a job as a manufacturing company, it could be in accounting, it could be engineering, it could be a welder. If you're interested in it, we will pay, you pay for your class, but we will reimburse you if you get an A, B, or C. So you pay up front and then I'll pay, you show me your grades and I'll cut you a check for what you paid for tuition. And sometimes that's 100%, or it could be 50%, or it could be 75%, but at least you're not paying it. The company is. So some of our participants have taken advantage of that where they've gotten their college paid for by a manufacturing company. Another way of getting a free education is through an apprenticeship program. So Terrence, the young man in the black, he got bored at work, which a lot of young people do. Manufacturing is the process of doing the same jobs over and over again for 8, 10, 12 hours a day. So you get bored. He came to our office like, hey, I need something else. This is crazy. And we were like, well, maybe you need a challenge. So let's put you in school. So we called the company. The company discussed a tool and die apprenticeship. An apprenticeship is where you work and you go to school at the same time, but the company is paying for your entire education, 100%, books, fees, tutors, whatever. They are paying for it. And at the end of that apprenticeship, you get a certificate, or you get an associate's, or you get a bachelor's, but you get some sort of certification or paper that says that you're able to do a particular job. And you can take that anywhere in the world. So the way it works is you'll work part-time hours, or you'll work maybe one Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at work, 8 hours or whatever your shift is. And then maybe Tuesday and Thursday, you don't go to work, but you go to school. And every day that you go to school, they still pay you. Every semester that you pass, you're going to get a raise. So if it takes you 6 semesters to get that certification or associates, every semester you pass, you may be getting $1 raise. You may be getting a 50-cent raise, but I'm talking about semesters and not years. You could do 4 semesters in a year, depends on how that training is set up. But Terrence went from, he was already doing good at like $15, $16, but Terrence is making almost $30 an hour right now. And that's just through maybe a 3-year run with the company. So manufacturing is an area where you can kind of write your own check. As long as you have interest and you show interest, then the company is going to take you by the hand and train you in that particular skill. And with that comes money. Every time you get a promotion, it comes with money. So an apprenticeship is a way to get books, tuition, fees, and raise. The company pays for your education. And the beauty as a student is everything you're struggling with at school, you can come to work and get support. Hey guy, I got a test tomorrow on these things. Can you help me? Because I don't understand it. whereas you would have to go find a tutor and, get some help from somewhere, but you can just go to work and say, hey, I'm having an issue with this. So it's real time where you earn and learn at the same time. And the company is on board and they're putting you in that role to where you're training at. So you're training on the job and you're doing the book work in school. And it makes better sense than me, going to be an accountant and I learn all these things my freshman, sophomore, junior year. And, I may lose half that information by the time I graduate. So it's earning and learning at the same time. But the beauty of it is the employer pays 100% of all costs. So it's a free education.
So can I sign up for manufacturing training? Like, sorry, Austin Coming Together. I do love my job, do love it. But I'm kidding.
I will tell you, one of our employers, his name is John Wensler Gear in Harwood Heights. He offers his employees an opportunity to go to school on his dime all the way up to a PhD.
Wow.
Guess how many people took advantage of that?
A lot.
0.
Oh, really?
0. And I met him maybe eight years ago when I first heard him say that. And, he's had his plant for 40 years or so, and nobody is taking it all the way up to a PhD. He would pay 100% of their tuition costs, and nobody is taking advantage of it.
Wow.
Just to let you know what's out there and available for young people to take advantage of. That's what's out there. They want you to get educated. And they'll pay for it.
Okay. So anybody who's out there listening right now,
That's right.
this is your chance. This is a great opportunity you can't miss out on.
And that's why this work is so important of the community engagement, because this is not the kind of information that you would necessarily see on somebody's website. These are smaller employers, so you might never even hear their name. So that's why, again, my team and our program is so important, because we're making those connections. We have those relationships, and we're trying to get, try and make sure as many people in our community can benefit from, that kind of inside track of, these connections and these opportunities that otherwise most people won't have the opportunity to learn about, whether through school or at home. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we here at Austin Coming Together are more than happy to pass along that information and make sure everyone is able to partake in these incredible opportunities. I do have a couple other questions. One specifically relating to, so this is an incredible program that has lots to offer, especially for any community members who may be coming in with backgrounds. Are there any limitations to what the backgrounds may look like for participants? What does that work kind of look like, especially for those who may be looking to get their records expunged? Is that something you can assist them with?
I'll tell you, the big 3 is theft, violent acts, and sexual crimes. Those are the big 3 that most employers stay away from, is if it's recent. If it's older, then, it's case by case basis. Drug cases, they don't, it's okay. Certain things, it's okay. Other things, they're going to kind of, I don't know, it may cause a red flag, but everything today, I believe, is case by case.
Okay.
Because of the need.
Okay.
So if you're a welder and you have a theft charge, do I believe you're going to get hired? Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. Because of the shortages that's going on, and more employers are overlooking criminal backgrounds, even THC and marijuana. I mean, they're overlooking drug tests. 99.9% of all manufacturers are going to do a drug test. More employers today are overlooking THC. Anything else, is not going to get you employed, but if it's just marijuana, some employers are letting that go. Everybody's not there, but it's getting better over time.
Okay. And what about for registering for manufacturing Renaissance programs? Do you do drug testing there for any of these, or? Okay. Okay.
So as for what Dee said, it would be important though for you to tell us up front that if you have a record, or if you feel like there's there's a barrier to you getting employed. So we can kind of give you a sense of what your options might be upfront, because we don't want you to go through the program and then not be able to get placed. So that's important to share in the door.
Okay. So to anybody who is interested, the door is wide open. The opportunity is there. That is all the questions I have on my end. Are there any questions that you're maybe frequently get asked, or anything else you want participants who are interested to know?
Nope, just sign up today. And if it's not for you, share it with your community. You know, somebody who could take advantage of this program, somebody, at least one person who's out there just lost, took 2 or 3 gap years after high school, haven't quite gotten it together. Those are the folks I want.
Okay.
Hungry, desperate, but just don't know where to turn. Send them to me.
Okay.
We'll help.
Okay. Well, and for anybody who is, again, looking for that opportunity and that resource, let me toss the information back up on the screen. This is contact information for Dee Dee. Please feel free to reach out to her. This is her email address. This is her phone and extension. And then always you can get in contact with them via the website. Again, that is mfgren.org. Manufacturing Renaissance, you can Google them as well and they will pop up there. That is all we have. I do want to share a quick update about next month's Hub 101. We will be joined by Build Inc. here in the neighborhood of Austin. Let me get their page tossed up. They will be just going over and discussing with us how we can promote love and prevent violence within the community, within ourselves, and what that looks like. So again, next month will be with Build. It will again be on Tuesday the 15th from 12:30 to 1:45. Flyers will be coming out soon, as well as further information. Let me see. That is all we have today. So I want to thank the Manufacturing Renaissance team again. You were so fantastic. The information you have is incredible, and I'm so excited to share this opportunity with our community members. So thank you, all 4 of you. You're fantastic. The work you're doing is wonderful. And that comes from the Austin community team, as well as the Austin community in general. So
thank you for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity of working with great partners such as yourself, as well as you allowing us to get the word out about what's going on in the Austin community and the advantages that people have who may not be aware of them. Really appreciate the work that you guys do.
absolutely. Well, that is all we have for today. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. And we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.